The Adjective Field Guide. Welcome to your visual masterclass on one of English's most powerful tools, the adjective. This isn't just a list of describing words. It's a full field guide to how adjectives behave, where they belong in a sentence, and how to catch the mistakes that trip up even confident writers. Let's get started. Why adjectives matter. Compare "I got a dog" to "I got a scruffy, three-legged dog who howls." The first is true, clear, and instantly forgettable. The second gives you a picture, a sound, an entire personality. That's the real job of an adjective. It removes guesswork and adds emotional weight a bare noun simply can't carry on its own. The definition. An adjective is a word that describes, limits, or adds detail to a noun or pronoun. It answers one of four questions. What kind? Waterproof boots. Which one? The late assignment. How many? Few tickets. Or whose? My laptop. Quick rule of thumb. If the word describes a verb or an entire sentence instead, that's an adverb's job, not an adjective's. 8 types of adjectives. Adjectives split into 8 types, and knowing which one you're using tells you exactly how it'll behave. Descriptive, like quiet or spicy. Quantitative, like several or enough. Demonstrative, this, that. Possessive, my, her. Comparative, faster. Superlative, fastest. Interrogative, which, whose. And proper adjectives, like Italian or Victorian. Descriptive adjectives, what kind and how many. Descriptive adjectives answer what kind by covering color, size, texture, sound, and more. Think warm, buttery croissants. They also answer how much or how many, and the exact wording matters a lot. I have few friends here suggests almost none, while I have a few friends here suggests a genuinely meaningful amount. One small article completely flips the tone. Demonstrative adjectives, pointing at specifics. Demonstrative adjectives work on 2 axes at once, number and proximity. This is one thing nearby. These is multiple things nearby. That is one thing farther away. Those is multiple things farther away. One critical warning. A demonstrative must sit directly in front of a noun. Standing alone, like in "I'll take this," it's actually a pronoun, not an adjective. Possessive and interrogative, spotting the pronoun trap. Both possessive and interrogative words have an adjective form and a sneaky pronoun trap. This is her umbrella, adjective, sitting in front of a noun. This umbrella is hers, pronoun, replacing the noun completely. Same logic with questions. What excuse did you give? Is an adjective. What did you say? Is a pronoun with no noun in sight. Check the space right after the word. Proper adjectives, born from proper nouns. Proper adjectives are built directly from proper nouns. Shakespeare becomes Shakespearean, as in a Shakespearean tragedy. France becomes French, as in French pastries. And here's the rule that trips people up constantly. She loves French pastries is wrong. The capital letter carries over from the proper noun and is completely non-negotiable. Compound adjectives, the hyphen bridge. Compound adjectives combine forces to describe a noun together. A well-written essay needs a hyphen bridging well and written because the 2 words function as a single unit sitting in front of the noun, but move them after the noun, the essay was well written, and that hyphen disappears entirely. Position decides the punctuation. Participial adjectives, the ed versus ing split. Words built from verbs split into 2 very different jobs. The ing form names the cause of a feeling. This meeting is boring describes the thing producing the boredom. The ed form names the person experiencing that feeling. I am so bored. Mix them up and you'll accidentally say something you didn't mean. I am boring claims that you personally are dull to be around. Degrees of comparison. Adjectives shift depending on how many things you're comparing. With one noun and no comparison, you get the baseline, steep. Comparing exactly 2 things gives you the comparative, steeper. And singling one out among 3 or more gives you the superlative, steepest. 3 forms, 3 very specific comparison contexts. The position map, musical chairs. Adjectives can sit in 3 different spots relative to the noun. Attributive sits directly in front. She adopted a shy cat. Predicative comes after a linking verb. The cat seemed shy. Postpositive, the rarest, sits directly after the noun. Something strange. Wherever they land, they always point back to the same noun. Adjective order, the OSASCOMP train. When you stack multiple adjectives, native speakers follow a strict, largely unconscious order. Opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, OSASCOMP. A beautiful small antique round Italian silver serving spoon flows perfectly in that order. Scramble it, a silver small beautiful spoon, and the sentence instantly sounds off, even if you can't say exactly why. The Identification Toolkit, Tests 1 and 2. 2 quick tests confirm you're looking at an adjective. Test 1, the question gate. Does the word answer what kind, which one, how many, or whose? If not, stop, it's not an adjective. Test 2, the very stress test. Insert very or extremely in front of it. The train was very crowded survives just fine. Note, this test only works for descriptive adjectives, not possessives or demonstratives.
The Identification Toolkit, Tests 3, 4, and 5. 3 more checks. The degree test. Can it be compared, like tall, taller, tallest? If yes, it's an adjective. The linking verb drop. Does it work smoothly after is, seems, or became? And the verb in disguise detector catches nouns quietly doing an adjective's job, like morning in a morning routine. Morning isn't describing an action here, it's describing the noun routine. Grammar crimes, common mistakes, part 1. 2 crimes worth catching. Crime 1, the adverb swap. She sings good is wrong because good describes a noun, not an action. It should be she sings well. Crime 2, the double superlative. This is the most easiest recipe is wrong because easiest already carries the superlative meaning on its own. Adding most is pure redundancy. The countable versus uncountable rule. Fewer and less aren't interchangeable. Countable nouns, things you can count one by one, like apples, always pair with fewer. We have fewer apples than last week. Uncountable nouns, RAS concepts like time, pair with less. We have less time than last week. One rule to lock in: never use less for anything you can actually count. Coordinate adjectives, the comma test. When 2 adjectives sit side by side, how do you know if a comma belongs between them? Try inserting the word and. A long and boring lecture sounds completely natural, so it needs a comma. A long, boring lecture. But a bright and red sweater sounds off, because bright is really modifying red, not the sweater, so no comma. A bright red sweater. The master architecture. Let's build a full sentence. She bought a beautiful, small, round Italian silver serving spoon. That's coordinate adjectives needing a comma, a proper adjective capitalized correctly, a participial adjective functioning as purpose, all stacked in exact OSASCOMP order, anchoring back to one noun. A native speaker assembles this instinctively. Now you know exactly how the blueprint actually works underneath. The Adjective Field Guide Cheat Sheet. Let's lock in the whole guide. 4 core questions. What kind? Which one? How many? Whose? 8 types. Descriptive, quantitative, demonstrative, possessive, interrogative, proper, comparative, and superlative. The OSASCOMP order. Opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. Remember ED for the experiencer versus ING for the cause, and fewer for countable versus less for uncountable. That's your complete field guide to adjectives. If this video helped you, please hit like and subscribe to our channel.